I was having a conversation with my daughter just the other day, and she said something was unfair. And what she was referring to was something that her sister had done that she didn't like. And so she wanted me to solve this unfairness that happened. And it was an opportunity for me to either solve the unfairness or teach her a broader life lesson, which is what I did. What I told her is I said, yes, this situation is unfair, but so is a lot of things that happen in life. So you have a choice. You can either cry about the unfairness, wait for someone to come in and save the day and make everything right, or you can do something about it. And that thing that you can do is give yourself an advantage. Give yourself the advantage, which sounds selfish. It's really not, because if you're crying about something being unfair while doing nothing about it, that's selfish. If you empower yourself by giving yourself an advantage so that you no longer need anyone's help, now you actually can help other people. The exact same thing is true in online business. There's a lot of things about online business, a lot of things about the economy right now, a lot of things about business in general that you could argue are unfair, that maybe should be better. But whining and crying about that doesn't actually change anything. And so you're watching this video because you want to do something about it. You're one of the people who, instead of commenting on videos saying, oh, I wish things were better, or it must be nice, or isn't it great when you just have everything solved, you say, I actually want to give myself an advantage. So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can give yourself an advantage in online business so that as you're growing your business, you can have things go in your favor because you've done the work to set things up to work in your favor. Why is this so important? Well, it's important because if you get online business right, and it begins to make you money, and that money is not attached to your time, to your direct input of time, you now have a massive advantage over almost everyone. So like this week, my brother-in-law and his wife and kids have been in town, and they have been staying with us, and we live at the beach. We live in Florida at one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, in my opinion, on the Gulf Coast of Florida. So I've spent the last 7 days not working and hanging out with them, doing whatever I want to do. And my business has just been trucking right along, making me money in the background of my life, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it hasn't missed a beat, even though I have not actually been doing anything. And I know that when you work a job, you get paid time off, and I know that happens, but it's still not the same. You eventually have to continue to go back to work. They have to continue to pay you because of the work that you continue to do. In online business, you can set things up to work for you where your work actually diminishes over time, and yet the income of the business increases over time, giving you more freedom of time and more money, which then also gives you freedom of time. So how can you give yourself an advantage so that that can happen faster, easier, better? Here they are. Number 1, the first thing you want to do is make evergreen content. This is why I'm so big on YouTube versus social media proper. Like, you don't hear me talk much about making Instagram reels, although that can be really great, or Facebook stories or Instagram stories, because so much of that is kind of here and then gone. The reason why I talk about evergreen content, and specifically YouTube, is because some of my most valuable videos that produce the most income for me, because they generate the most leads and drive the most amount of traffic to my website and put people on my email list and put them through my funnel, is my YouTube videos. I've got videos that I made 5 years ago that are still making me money. So evergreen, meaning it's always relevant, and content, meaning that you're producing a digital asset that is always available for people to consume. I'm talking about free content on a platform like YouTube. This gives you an advantage. You're creating a massive asset. And when you stack up enough of those, like for example, on this channel, I've got 400 plus long form videos, like 16 by 9, long form videos like what you're watching now. And those videos are always working for me. So this week, while I've been chilling out on the beach every day, these videos have been making me money. They're an asset. They are an advantage. I gave myself an advantage. So think about your online business. Can you produce more content? And especially if you're trying to give yourself an advantage quickly, if you're currently doing one long form YouTube video a week, could you sustainably do 2? And what could that do if it was creating more content, putting more content out there? People were watching it, people were clicking on it, people were getting your lead magnet, getting on your email list, and going through and buying your offer. So evergreen content is my favorite in terms of the first advantage you can give yourself. The second advantage is collaboration. What I mean by this is find other people in your space and be friendly. Like, reach out and be a friend. Some of the most fun things I've ever done in online business have been with people who are like competitors on paper. So my good friend Brandon Kelly has a website called Preach and Lead, and it used to be called Rookie Preacher. And my other online business is called Preaching Donkey. And so he reached out to me very early on, and we were direct competitors. Like, he ran a website called rookiepreacher.com. I ran a website called preachingdonkey.com. I wrote a book called Preaching Killer Sermons. He wrote a book called Preaching Sticky Sermons. He had Sticky Sermons Academy as a course. I had Killer Sermons Academy as a course. I mean, I'm telling you, right down the line, we should have been like arch enemies. And instead, we're like great friends, and we've collaborated on all kinds of stuff. We help each other out. We talk shop all the time, and it's way more fun that way. In fact, I did a membership site over at Preaching Donkey for a year, and he actually partnered with me on that membership site, and we collaborated on the content. And he brought his audience, I brought mine, and we made it happen for a year, and we had a great time. So we were better together than apart. If we had been separate, if I had seen him as like the enemy, one, I would have just lost out on a great friendship. But two, I would have missed out on the opportunity to get access to his audience. He would have missed out on an opportunity to get access to my audience. It's just way more fun to collab. And the same thing is true in my online business where I help other people start online businesses. I have friends in this space as well. Graham Cochran is a great friend of mine, and he is way bigger than me, has a way bigger platform, and I'm not intimidated or scared of him, and he's certainly not intimidated or scared of me, because collaboration versus competition, collaboration is like, hey, there's plenty of room for all of us. The pie just gets bigger, it expands. That's collaboration. Competition is, it's a fixed pie, there's a limited amount of space, there's not room for all of us, so I must protect against you. The problem with that is it produces a scarcity mindset in you, and you begin to kind of see others with suspicion, and that scarcity mindset actually works its way into every part of your business and limits your growth. So collaboration is a massive advantage you can give yourself. Not everybody can be trusted. Not everybody's friendly. You got to use your mind. You got to use your wisdom. But if you can reach out to people and you can be friendly, not just with people that have massive platforms because you want something from them, you want access to their audience. I'm talking about peers. So Brandon and I had the exact same size audience. And so it wasn't like, can I get something from you? Can you get something from me? It was like, hey, we're both trying to figure this out together. So let's figure it out together. And now his website is called preachandlead.com. And he went full-time with that and a website called Creator Fuel that he's launching, a whole business around helping people do online business. Well, guess what? We're going to collaborate there as well. It's going to be so much fun. So the point that I'm making is, do not be exclusionary and look at other people with suspicion when you could be friendly and collaborate and probably grow faster and just enjoy yourself better, because online business can be lonely, so you can make friends and it can be great. Now, so the number one was evergreen content. Are you building assets that are working for you in the background of your life? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Massive advantage. Number two, collaboration. Are you friendly? Are you looking at people not from the lens of how are you destroying my business, but you're looking at it through what can I learn from you? How can I help you? How can you help me? How can we just not be as isolated because we're in this together and we understand the unique world that we're in? And I'm talking about people that are in your exact niche. And then finally, number 3, speed. Speed is a massive advantage. What do I mean? I mean work fast. Do not delay action. The people who win in online business are the people who are able to execute on their plans and able to do that fast. This is why here soon, I keep putting it off, but here soon, I'm talking about working fast and yet I've put this off, but here soon, I'm going to do an updated video of my studio setup, everything that I have. And you will see that everything that I have in my studio is always ready to go all the time. My camera is always set up. My microphone is always ready. My light is always ready to just flip on and it's ready to go. Everything in here is designed to be as frictionless as possible. Now, it wasn't always like this. I started out in a closet, okay? My first videos, I was using my iPhone in my closet. I had no sound, no lights. I used the closet because that was the only room that was quiet in my house. So I understand that you cannot necessarily start with this great setup, but here's the principle that I want you to see. Figure out what you can do at the level that you're at right now that requires the least amount of setup, the least amount of friction, where you can record content, you can edit it, you can get it uploaded, you can get it out. And every barrier to execution, you need to really, really examine and decide, is this something that I just can't avoid and it just is what it is? Or can I get rid of this? Can I remove this friction so that I can work faster? And sometimes the friction is actually perfectionism. It's actually us saying, if I'm going to do this, it has to be perfect. Well, here's the thing. Nothing can be perfected when it's still locked up in your head, or still an unedited video on your computer. The only way something can actually help people and make an impact is if it's uploaded, if it's published, if it's consumed, put out in the world for people to use and for people to examine. And then guess what? You can make the next thing better and the next thing after that better. But if you delay action, you are giving yourself a massive disadvantage. Because who's going to find out about your brand? Who's going to find out about your course? Who's going to find out about the amazing stuff that you have to offer if you're always delaying action? So I'm passionate about this because it is, in my opinion, it is the thing that people do that give themselves a massive disadvantage when they delay action. So speed is your advantage. If you walked away this week and you just said, look, evergreen content, I'm going to make videos. I'm going to make at least 1 video a week, 2 videos a week that last forever. So I'm not just talking about flash in the pan stories on Instagram. I'm talking about deep, usable content, long form on YouTube that will be up there forever. Second, I'm going to collab. I'm going to reach out to somebody in my space who's got a relatively similarly sized audience, or maybe if you're just starting out, reach out to someone who's been doing it a couple of years. And I'm going to be friendly in some way. Even if it's just, I'm going to introduce myself and say, hey, I do the same thing you do. Just thought I'd say hi. Because they probably know about you. They've probably researched you. And if you reach out, it's like taking the first step to say, hey, I'm friendly. Let's be friends. Third thing, speed. What can you do this week to be just a little bit faster? All right. If you want help with all these, go to lanesebring.com/supersimple. That's my super simple guide to your first $500 online. In that, I'll show you how I design my online businesses and how I teach others to design theirs. It's everything you need. Go check it out. I will see you in the next video.